Basics of Python Module 3. Today we discuss about decision making statement and looping statement. Python supports the usual logical conditions from mathematics like equal to, not equal to, less than, greater than that you all studied in the operator material. Using the condition if else statement you can let your program to make the decision. So under this concept of decision making in Python, we will use flowchart. What is a flowchart? A flowchart is a diagrammatic representation of an algorithm. In Lermon's term, it is a diagrammatic representation of step-by-step approach to solving a particular problem. And first we start our program, define a variable a whose value is 33 and another variable b whose value is 200. In this diamond block, we define our condition. We will check whether b is greater than a or not. Depending upon the boolean output, true or false, our program will follow different path. If the value is true, we will follow this path. If the boolean value is false, we will follow this path. Since b is greater than a, this is 200 and a is 33. So it will print b is greater than a and that will end the program. So first we will define a variable a whose value is 33 and b whose value is 200, and then we will check whether b is greater than or not. If the condition is true, then we will print b is greater than a. Otherwise, we will print a is greater than b. This block of code will be executed if the condition is true. It will be said condition is true, and this block of code will be executed only if the condition or any prescribing condition are false. We can apply various conditions using elif keyword. We will discuss this if all the predicting conditions are false. Let's run this here. Let's run this code. Here we got b is greater than a because b is greater than a, as b is 200 and a is 33. So at first we have started our program and defined a variable a whose value is 33 and another variable b whose value is 200. Again in the diamond box we will check the condition whether the b is greater than a or not. Here we have b is 200 and a is 33. So it will follow this path and it will print b is greater than a and then end the program. But if we reverse the value presenting in a and b, or you are interchanging the value, then a will have 200 and b will be 33. Now this condition will get false. So it will follow this path. Now we are again checking, okay, b is not greater than a, but whether b is a or not. If a is equal to a, that means b is 33 is equal to a. That means b is 33, a is 33. Then it will follow this path. But here we are defined a as 20 and b as 33. So it will follow this path. The elif word in Python is the same that if the previous condition were not true, then try these conditions. For example, I will say a is 33, b is 200 and I will check whether b is greater than a or not. If yes, then print b is greater than a, and if this condition is false, then check the condition. It will specify with elif keyword. Elif b is equal to a, then that means we are checking b is equal to a or not. So we will write print a and b are equal. Otherwise we can write print a is greater than b. So here b is greater than a is the first condition. So Python program will come here and check whether B is greater than A or not. Here B is 200, A is 33. So it will print B is greater than A. Now I will reverse the condition and I will say B is 20 and A is 33. Now at first Python will whether B is greater than A or not, and it will find no, that is not so. It won't print this code and it will be jumped into another condition checking whether the B is equal to A or not. If the condition satisfied, it will say A is equal to B. Otherwise, if the condition and this condition or any preceding condition are false, then it will print A is greater than B. So let's run this code. Here we can see that A is greater than B because these two conditions are all the above condition before else is false. Now I will say B is 33. Now you can see that A and B are equal because Python has checked B is greater than A or not. So this is false. So in check whether B is equal to A or not, then it is fine. Yes, that true. So it print A and B are equal. There is some short techniques. If you have only one statement to execute, you can put it on the same line as the if statement. For example, I will say A is 200 and B is 33. And I can say if A is greater than B, then print A is greater than B. Here I had only one line of code, so I can specify that in the same line as that of if statement. For shorthand of if else condition, we have print A is greater than B. Now we will check the condition. If A is greater than B, so here this statement is for this condition, and then we will write else or otherwise print B is greater than A. Whether A is greater B or not, if the condition is yes or true, print this statement or run this code. Otherwise run this code. Let's run this code. We have A is greater than B because we are specify A as 200 and B as 23. This technique is also known as ternary operator or conditional operator. The AND keyword is an logical operator used to combine conditional statement, which is discussed in the operator material. Here we will say A as 200, B as 33 and C as 500. We will check A greater than B and C greater than A. Then we will print both conditions are true. So since A is greater than B, that means A equal to 200, B equal to 33, and also C is greater than A. As C is 500, A is 200. So this line of code is executed because the both conditions are true. The OR keyword is a logical operator and used to combine conditional statement. We can run the specific code only if at least the one of the condition is true. I would say A is 200, B is 33 and C is 400, and we will check whether A is greater than B or A is greater than C, and we will print at least one of the condition is true. Here we got an output because A is greater than B, but not A is greater than C. So one of the condition which is true. You can also have nested if condition. That means if statement is inside another if statement. So I will give a heading nested if, and I will say x as 42 and I will check x is greater than 10 or not. If this condition is true, then print x is above 10 and then we will check x is greater than 20 or not. If this condition is true, then only print it is also greater than 20. If this condition is false, then print but not above 20. If this condition is false, then print above 20. So let's run this code. X is above 10 because x is 41. It is also greater than 20 because x is 41. If you change the value to x 11, you can see that we got but not above 20, because at first check whether x is greater than 10 or not. It will find yes greater than 10, so it will print this statement. Then it come here and check x is greater than 20 or not. It will find that is no, false. So it will print the code inside the else part. One more important thing I want to discuss Python relies on indentation. That means white space to define its scope in the code. Like in any other programming language, we have double quotes. There we use indentation. So give an example. I just copy this code and paste it here and remove this command. Here we can see that indentation block. So this statement is inside is condition. If I remove this indentation, you can see that we got an indentation error because this if statement cannot be empty. So we specify scope. We have to give tab or 4 space. Is better to use tab here. As I told you, if statement cannot be empty, but let's say for some reason if statement with no content, in this case we use pass statement. So I will say A as 32 and B as 200 and we will check whether B is greater than or not. Now I want to do nothing with this code, so I will say pass. You can see that here got no error. Python is primitive. Two loop commands. One is for loop and another one is while loop. First we saw about while loop. This is a flowchart of while loop. A flowchart is a diagrammatic representation of an algorithm. It is a good practice to create your own flowchart before writing a program. So let's understand the flowchart of an while loop. And first we start with the program and we have defined a variable I whose value is 1. And here the condition block, we are checking whether the I is less than 6 or not. If yes, the compiler will follow this path. Since condition is true as 1 is less than 6, so the Python will follow this path and it will print the value of 1. And then it will increment I by 1. That means previously I was now it's 2 and return back and check whether 2 is less than 6 or not. Now it is yes, then it follow this path and it will print and increment I by 1 and again it will get back, it will check whether it is less than 6 nor or not. Yes, then it will follow. When I is equal to 6, that means it is not less than 6 and follow this path. So let's understand the flowchart and the coding. So the while loop can execute a set of particular statement as long as particular condition is true. So let's define a loop. I will say I is equal to 1 and till I is less than 6. Print the value of I and increment the value of I by 1. This statement is same as I equal to I plus 1. Remember to increment the I or else loop will continue forever or infinity. Run this cell. we can got an output of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but not 6, because 6 is not less than 6. It is equal to 6. And also note that while loop is always require a relevant variable to be ready, like I, whose value is 1. So it will iterate till this condition is true. We have a break statement to stop the loop even if the while condition is true. So I will say I is equal to 1, and while I is less than 6, then print I. And if I is 3, then break out of the loop or stop execute, or otherwise just increment I value by 1. You can see that after I3 we have break out of the loop. Simultaneously, to break statement we have a continue statement which we can stop the current iteration and continue with the next iteration. For example, I would say I is 0, and while I is less than 6, increment I by 1. If I is 3, then continue, otherwise print I. Now you can see that we have 1, 2 and then 4, because at 3 we have give a continue statement. It won't print the I value. Here when I is 3, with the help of continue statement, we are telling Python compiler that you want to have execute remaining code. We just restart the iteration, so it will again go back and check whether I is less than 6 or not. If yes, then it will continue the process, other it will not. You also have else keyword, which return a block of code is no longer term. For example, I just copy this code and I just remove this. Now you can see that 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. But here I also apply a else keyword. I will say print I is no less than 6. Now you can see that in the 7th iteration, that continue is false. Then we got the output I is no longer less than 6. Then we will discuss about for loop. A for loop is used for iterating over a sequence. That sequence can be a set, list, tuples or string. It is like a for keyword. In other programming language, for keyword is used for jumping from any other programming language to Python. It is very different with the uses of for loop. We can execute a set of statement once for each item. In the sequence can be list or tuples. Let's take an example. I would just say fruit is a list having apple, banana and cherry. For item present in the list of fruit, I will just print every item. You can see that at the first compiler scan this value and print it. Scan this banana and print it, and then compiler scan cherry and print that. So we are taking every element one by one, or one just printing that in the output also. Remember that the for loop does not require any indexing that used in other programming language. For loop require indexings. Here we no need any indexing value or indexing variable. As I told you, we can iterate over any sequence. Sequence can be string. So I would say string is equal to banana. And I would say for char in string, I will print all the characters. So let's run this. We can see that B-A-N-A-N-A. So it will scan B first, then A, then this N, then N this A, then this N, then this A. We also run this code in this way instead of string. I put apple. Now we see about range function. A range function returns a sequence of numbers starting from 0 by default and increment by 1 and stop before a specific number. Syntax for range function is start number, stop number and step.